Today I'll be talking about Latvia's emergency management policy. Latvia is located in Eastern Europe with the Baltic Sea to its west, Estonia and Lithuania to the north and south respectively, and Russia to the east. It's a small country, a little bigger than West Virginia, with a population of a little over 2 million in a recent 2012 study. Latvia has had a rough and confusing political history in the last 300 years, beginning in 1721 when it was overruled by Russia. Germany occupied the nation in the beginning of World War I, and there was a brief independence between World War I and World War II. The Soviet Union then occupied Latvia in the beginning of World War II, but in the latter half was controlled by Nazi Germany, where over 75,000 Latvians were killed or deported because of their religion. After Germany's defeat in World War II, the Soviet Union regained control for another 40 years. In the late 1980s, there was the first beginnings of uprising and political protests to regain their independence, which was finally declared on August 24, 1991. Politics today in Latvia are very calm. They are an independent democratic republic. The sovereign power of the state of Latvia is vested in the people of Latvia, and there are 100 members of elected parliament that represent the people for a 4-year period. The Ministry of Interior is like our FEMA. The ministers approve state civil protection plans and local government civil protection plans each year. The main tasks of Latvian civil protection are to carry out disaster management, to provide aid to victims of disaster, to reduce the possible damage to property and environment caused by disasters, to ensure economic stability in hazardous situations, and if military invasion or war has begun, to support the national armed forces with resources. The Ministry of Defense is like our Homeland Security. The Ministry of Defense participates and supports defense policy planning, emergency operations, and national security. They mainly consist of the National Armed Forces and the Home Guard. The National Armed Forces support civilian services with manpower, vehicles, communication, and life support equipment, keeps public order, performs rescues, and specific tasks like clearing mines and decontamination. Home Guard is organized according to territorial principle and serves on a local level. International assistance in Latvia is a great asset because they're such a small country with a small population. Latvia is a member of NATO, the EU, the UN, and the European Commission. The Latvian National Armed Forces have participated in international operations when requested by NATO or a fellow EU nation. International assistance can be requested only by the Cabinet of Ministers and is decided on a case-to-case basis. Hazards and vulnerabilities located in Latvia include floods, heavy snowfall, strong winds, chemical and nuclear accidents, infrastructure accidents, oil spills or other hazardous material spills, and large fires. Disasters in surrounding countries are easily felt in Latvia because of its size and proximity to nearby countries. Between 1999 and 2009, there was a decade of disasters in Latvia. The latest one was a chemical accident in the capital of Riga. In 2007, there was an oil spill in the Daugava, which is a river that flows through the country of Latvia from east to west. There were 3 examples of extreme temperature, one in 2006 that killed 40 people, one in 2003 in the capital that killed 15 people, and one in 2001 in the Riga region that killed 21 people. There were 2 strong storms in this decade, Irwin, that cost $325 million US, and one in 1999, Anatol, that killed 6 and cost $500,000. There was also a flood in the Daugava caused by melting glaciers and an epidemic in Riga that affected 102 people. Latvia's future is very bright as they are a young country with a growing population and economy. They have hopes of becoming more renowned and recognized global power with international recognition.